We all want AI to be smarter, right? But what about smarter about us? How do we give it access to our own private, up-to-the-minute information? Well, let's get into it, because the solution is one of the coolest things happening in AI right now.
You've probably tried this, right? We used to Google ourselves, now we ask a chatbot. But when you ask an AI who is Martin Keen, you can get some interesting answers. One model might know about the founder of Keen Shoes, another might know about the Martin Keen from IBM. It all depends on their training data, and that creates a huge problem.
And that right there, that's the core challenge we're going to tackle in this explainer, the large language model knowledge gap.
Think of it like this. On one side, you have the LLM's brain. It's packed with a ton of general knowledge, sure, but it's all public, and it's basically frozen in time from when its training stopped. And on the other side, well, that's your private world, your company's internal documents, real-time data, all your private wikis. The two are just completely separate.
So, let's make this real. Imagine your boss comes to you and says, hey, I need an AI assistant that can answer questions about 500 gigabytes of our company's private files. Whoa, you can't just copy and paste all of that into a chat window. So, how do you even begin to do that efficiently and accurately?
The answer is a really clever method called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or, as everybody calls it, RAG. This is the bridge that's going to connect the AI's general brain to your specific world.
Okay, so here's the absolute key. RAG lets a large language model tap into an external source of information at the very moment you ask a question. It's like giving the AI a cheat sheet with all your private, current data, but without having to go through the massive pain of retraining the entire model. But how does it find the right information so fast from that giant 500 gigabyte library? It's not doing a simple keyword search. No, the secret sauce here is something way more intelligent.
And that is semantic search. This is a total game changer. Instead of just matching words, it understands the meaning behind your question. It works by turning your query and your documents into numbers. They're called vector embeddings that capture their actual context. This lets it find stuff that's conceptually similar, even if the words are totally different.
Let me show you a super simple example. Look at these two phrases. Dogs are allowed and pets are permitted. They don't share a lot of keywords, do they? A basic search might completely miss the link, but as humans, we know they mean the exact same thing. And that's the power of semantic search. It would look at these two sentences and say, yep, these are about 95% similar, because it understands that dogs are a type of pet and that allowed is basically the same as permitted. It's searching for meaning, not just words. So cool.
Okay, so now that we get the magic of semantic search, let's plug it into the full RAG process and see how this all comes together, step by step.
It's this beautiful three-step dance. First, it retrieves. The system uses that semantic search to grab the most relevant little pieces of info from your private data. Second, it augments. It takes what it found and stuffs that context right into your original question, creating a brand new enriched prompt. And finally, it generates. It hands that super prompt to the LLM and tells it to generate an answer based on this new context. So let's walk through that company document scenario again. A user asks a simple question like this. Without RAG, the LLM has no clue what Code Cloud is or what service agreements you have. It would just make something up. Now, this is where the magic really happens, that augmentation step. This all goes on behind the scenes. Before the LLM even sees your question, RAG has already done all the heavy lifting, finding the exact paragraphs from those service agreements that are relevant. So the prompt that the LLM actually receives looks more like this. It gets the original question, sure, but it also gets a whole chunk of relevant context pulled directly from your private files. So now, the LLM isn't guessing anymore. It's been given the facts it needs to put together a precise, accurate answer.
Now, RAG is incredibly powerful, but it's not the only way to make an AI better. So how does it stack up against other popular techniques, like fine-tuning and prompt engineering?
This table breaks it down pretty well. RAG, as we know, is best for injecting fresh, up-to-date knowledge into a prompt. The downside? It can add a little bit of processing time and cost. Then there's fine-tuning. This is when you actually retrain the model on your own data. It's great for building deep expertise, but it's really expensive, a pain to maintain, and you risk something called catastrophic forgetting, where the model, well, it forgets some of its general knowledge. And finally, you have prompt engineering. That's just getting better at asking questions. It's fast, it's free, but it can't teach the model anything new. So really, it all boils down to what you're trying to do. If you need flexibility and fast results, you use prompt engineering. If you need to extend the model's knowledge with new, external data,
RAG is your tool. And if you need to bake deep expertise right into the model, you're looking at fine-tuning.
But here's the most important takeaway of all. In the real world, these three techniques are almost never used by themselves. The most powerful AI systems use them all together. They're collaborators.
And this legal AI example just shows that synergy perfectly. You'd use RAG to pull in the latest court decisions that just happened. You'd use fine-tuning to teach the model your specific law firm's style and policies. And then you'd use some clever prompt engineering to make sure the final output is formatted exactly like a legal brief. Each one has a unique and vital job to do.
So yeah, we've come a long way from just searching our names on Google. Today, we're literally giving AI the keys to our private worlds of knowledge. And RAG is the essential bridge making that possible, turning these generalist models into specialized experts. So the question really isn't if AI is going to tap into our private worlds, it's how we're going to choose to build that bridge.